Gah! Hello. Welcome back to D&D. I hope that sufficed as a barbarian raging.
Way too happy.
Hello.
That was less like a barbarian and more like a bear that found some honey.
Welcome to D&D. Welcome.
He's lost it.
Oh, half an hour ago, I was doing 80 down the M4. I'm in the zone.
You obey speed limits. Good boy.
Oh yes, of course. Anyway, so let's kick this whole thing up a notch. Last session, you guys made it back from the Underdark. Yay! Everyone's happy, kind of. And you did some shopping. You bought stuff, sold stuff, all sorts of lovely little bits. You met people. You spoke to people. Glyndon spoke to Rast. Oramis got the Fang of Lolth made into a necklace. Mazzy was there. No, he went to the Ranger Conclave and stocked up on magic arrows.
Oh, I thought we didn't do arrows at Matt. Sorry.
I never saw
it's
that.
fine. We
I've got so many. It's fine.
Well, at some point,
yeah,
you'll just magically have some arrows in your pocket.
Also, none of you mentioned anything about tattoos. The magic tattoos, so we can still talk about that. I'll leave that till. I'll extend the thing on that till next week.
Not in a place where we can get them, per se.
You never know, Samuel. You never know.
Oh, is Felix a tattoo artist?
So, you also had a bit of a party, had a bit of a rave, bit of a drinking sesh in the Westland Tavern, where it seems you guys are some sort of VIPs in there. The tavern's owner has made you guys common visits a bit of a bit of a spectacle. You drank. You tried to convince people to make you statues. You
Could we drop
drank
the
some
wee
more.
word?
One of you.
You were complicit.
And,
you were there.
While you were all doing that, Dok spoke to Markul using Speak with Dead. He portrayed his adoration for you guys, and he was thankful for everything that you were able to do for him. He said he is happy to die. He's lived a very long life of sort of prejudice and war and things like that, and he'd quite like to be at peace now. But he can only be at peace if his brothers and sisters upon the Dustpeak Mountain were safe and led to this safe haven that you guys had been talking about. So, the day after, like I said, Glyndon spoke to Rast and found Moraine there as well. She warned him that of an impending doom coming to the capital.
Cheery lady.
Cheery lady, of course. And then you set off. You set along your way. Along the way, you met some nice people. One particular sort of caravan. We talked about caravans in Amber, how they're essential for trade and things because they keep people safe in these sort of large groups. And a few people in the caravans allowed you guys to sort of hop aboard their caravan and go around. You stayed in the little town just outside Igsworth, and then made it to around here, wherein the group decided to part ways. Glyndon and Dok going to this library temple place that they both would like to go to, and Mazzy and Oramis going to deal with Captain Hallowhand of the Black Gale. We follow Mazzy and Oramis traveling up the mountains, and as they settle down for the evening, there is a disturbance in the force around them. There is loud sort of thuds. Mazzy climbed up to a small parapet to see overhead, and he saw this huge humanoid silhouette walking amongst the trees, the size of a tree itself. You couldn't make out much, given that you don't have dark vision. It was quite a way away, but under the moonlight, you could tell it was, whatever it was this monstrously huge being walking around, but then it sort of dipped behind sort of a cliff or a tree and disappeared. It was coming in your direction, but it sort of veered off another way. Shortly
Everyone-
after,
A spin-off series from this. I think you should do shit Mazzy sees while he's on watch.
That's our Marvel What If.
Yeah.
what if Mazzy did go and save that baby? what if Mazzy did go fight a giant? Yeah, so that all happened. And then soon after, well, not soon after, maybe like an hour later, we were introduced to two more figures, two new additions to the group, Griffin and Felix. Griffin, a noble paladin of Tyr, the god of justice, and Felix, a very cunning and inquisitive gnome. The both of them were travelling through the forest and the mountains, coming from Draigbont, with an urgent mission. That Griffin was on, and Felix, I guess, was just sort of tagging along.
Interesting.
To find the Guardians, and find them, they did. There was a bit of a squabble, especially between Oramis and Felix, and we joined the session as Griffin has just sat down by the fire with Mazzy, while Oramis and Felix are still sort of squaring off, and said we should talk. And I will take the reins over to you guys. What is it you would like to talk about? This gives me a good opportunity
Just
to eat
Mazzy and
some
I at the
food.
fire.
It is Mazzy and
Yeah.
you at the fire, and then I'm sort of imagining like listening in. I'm assuming still listening in, but sort of keeping sort of eyes on each other a little bit. Is Felix and Oramis like just behind,
Oh, he's giving me
sort of
the
thing.
eyes.
like half squaring off, half just sort of just stood.
No one
neither
can resist once I've given
Yeah.
them the eye.
neither
How
of them
close
wanting
is
to sit down
Oramis to
first.
Felix.
That's undo.
I don't know how close is Oramis to Felix.
Is it depending on how close you are? You're not giving each other the eyes because you don't want to break your neck doing that. do you?
True.
Cool. Mazzy, I'm gonna say to you, Griffin's gonna say to you, as you clearly seem the slightly more responsible one of the group, dare I say. I come here with a quest from Tyr. Tyr is not the biggest fan of Tiamat, and we would like to aid you in you taking down these dragon priests.
Well, we definitely won't mind the help.
Well,
Thank you very much.
thank you for giving me a decent answer, and I'll just take a crop to Oramis. Are you headed to one now?
We're not headed to Tiamat now. We're here to my friend Oramis has some business at the Shattered Coast, so we're heading that way for now. But we have our other party members, which I believe you know about. We'll be meeting back with them to go forward on.
Once I've avenged my dead wife.
I don't want to be too forward, just having just met you guys, but I really don't think we should go. I think we should go deal with the dragon priest. I don't think we go deal with that. That can wait. That's not the fate of the world, is it?
We deal with a lot of fates of the world in our business. We've just dealt with one that you wouldn't have known about. And
I know
we're
all
taking a
about
bit
the
of
one
a
we
break.
just dealt with.
So we're doing something that my friend here, Oramis, finds very important to his heart. So I am helping him on his quest.
I'd be doing the world a favour. This man is disgusting. He's disgraceful. He ruins lives of everyone all over the world. He sails, and who knows when we'll get this opportunity again to set the world free from his criminal, evil grip.
Have you told them who it is yet?
No.
It's the build-up, Ben. God, let the build. It's stupid.
Have you not
It's
heard
stupid.
the name? Hollow Hand.
I completely respect what you're saying, Sailor Boy. But I'm telling you, it can't happen.
Why?
I think we have to go deal with these dragon priests. That's my job. That's what I've been tasked with doing, and I think this is a higher cause than yours.
Well, I'm going alone, whatever happens. So, if you're coming or not, I'm going. If you're too scared, I don't even know you, but you're obviously a little bitch.
Right,
Griffin, this
I'm
man
getting
is
my
clearly
axe out.
an idiot.
Yeah, I'm getting my axe out. I'm gonna get right up in his grill, and I'm gonna say, I dare you to say that again. Dare you. Get out! I'm in the middle. I'm shaking someone down, man. It's not intimidating if you come in and put a jumper on, is it? I love you. Thanks, respect. Respect.
I think
Sam
Lucy
started a
so
man and
hard,
ended
they rolled
single.
into the back of her head there.
Yeah. It's okay. I think you helped. No, I think the moment's fine.
I don't know who you are.
Seems a preoccupied.
I have a lot of women problems.
So Sam, are you
Tension.
laying up a nice section of floor?
Hang on a second, guys. Sorry, I think the tension's just gone out the window. Shouldn't have left it open.
What's a shit joke?
I don't know who you are, and frankly, I don't give a shit. We're going.
Griffin, this man is clearly an idiot.
I've swung my axe, JJ.
Oh,
Yeah, so Griffin very wildly swings his axe, but yeah, I'm assuming 13 doesn't hit you, Oramis.
Fucking no, it doesn't.
Alright, I think on that note, we will roll initiative.
Oh no! Right.
As he has somewhat initiated combat. You don't necessarily have to keep, sort of, you don't necessarily have to fight one another,
Ooh.
but,
Are we rolling again, JJ?
What a fucking waste of initiative rolls that is.
roll a D6.
What, a D6 you say?
Yeah, I've rolled
Okay.
a 2, so...
Matt, do you want me to roll a d6 for you?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
hold on, so it goes...
It's an in-game dice, Luke. It's not a real dice.
I was so hoping to go ahead of Oramis on this occasion, but I'm afraid I can't.
Griffin, so there's Griffin, Oramis.
You do.
I was going to try and stop Oramis from making an attack, but can't do
Griffin,
that. now, can
Oramis, Mazzy, Felix. That is the order of initiative. Griffin, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm just writing some notes. This has all happened very quickly.
What would you like to do?
Before you came on, Ben, we were discussing, JJ and myself, our new characters, how we're not really accustomed to what these people can do. So I apologise if this is...
I hope that this session might be a bit of a good... There might be a couple of bits which might be a good sort of things to get you guys a bit more on track. And hopefully to have a little bit of fun as well. You'll see in a minute. But yes. Paladin. Whack shit. Although you're a sorcerer as well, so you got a lot of spells. And meta magic. Fucking hell, man. Your turn's going to take forever.
I'm going to... As a quicken spell, use my sorcery points to do a quicken spell, I'm going to do hold person on Oramis.
Hold person on Oramis?
Yep.
Alright.
So that's a bonus action. So it's a whiz save from Oramis. DC 16, I think.
Is it charmed?
Oh yeah, he's fucking half elf, isn't he?
So you would get advantage. You can still...
advantage.
Is hold person a charm effect?
I think it is charmed. Paralysed! Wanker!
Yeah, I don't think he gets advantage on the save, but I think it's...
Oh, he's failed.
Oramis, you are paralysed. You are just held still before you can even draw your blade from Griffin.
Okay, and now I've just opened Glyndan's sheet in my excitement. Sorry. We're going to disintegrate.
And now lightning bolt.
So that was 2 sorcery points to cast that as a bonus action. So I'm now going to attack Oramis twice. I believe this will be a crit if it hits. He's paralysed?
Yes. You're within 5 feet, he's paralysed, so it will be a crit.
Mm-hmm. So, guessing that's a hit.
Yep, that would hit.
Okay, so I'm also going to add Divine Smite as well.
What level?
So that's 10 damage, and then
Remember, you can only go up to a maximum of 5d8, which is 3rd level Divine Smite.
oh, is that max? Okay, we'll do that then. 5d8.
5d8. Another
then
5d8.
Another 5d8. So that's 46 damage, 56 damage. Do I get to roll that again?
You get to roll the hit again.
Yeah.
Roll 1d8 again.
Is that 59 damage?
That is 59 damage. Not
Okay.
quite Mazzy's hit, but there we are.
Well, since you said that, Ben, I think I might attack again. Thank you for my time.
No.
Sorry? No? Oh, I haven't booked it. Yeah, I will book it. I'm beating the shit out of Luke.
Priorities.
Luke, you're paralyzed, so you can't take reactions, so unfortunately you cannot half any of this.
Okay,
I'm really sorry.
it's fine.
Sam's
28?
built a bit of a build. 28 hits.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah.
Um,
Oramis goes down, but he's still paralyzed, so
is he down? You down?
yeah.
No, 28 to hit, not 28 damage.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not down yet then.
I was going to say, you don't have like 56 healthy.
Yeah.
You might do after this. So that's a crit again, so that's
8
D8.
plus.
And then I'll do another 3rd level Divine Smite, because this man's pissed me off.
Oh, dear.
24.
Oh, you must be down!
Yeah, I mean, I only had 25 HP left.
Yes, we're starting to learn why Sam is an asshole
Yeah.
and has made a very powerful build. So, let's have a look.
I mean, it's fine, but he used 3 spell slots there in one turn, so...
He has. So, yeah, holy crap. Is that non-lethal
Oh, yeah.
or lethal?
No, I'm
As
slicing and dicing.
I've held him, and then I've hit him once quite hard, and then I go to hit him again, and I just say, I've thought about this today and it's left my mind. I'll just sort of grab him and I'll just say, you know, this isn't your story. This is lots of people's story. I suggest you wisen the fuck up, and I'll just knock him out.
Just for the
Oramis
record, I have a
knocks the
+3
fuck
to wisdom.
And Oramis gets knocked the fuck out. Is that everything on your turn, Griffin?
I'm just going to level my axe at Mazzy, and I'll just say, it was just between me and him. It's nothing to do with you.
I'm going to pretend I was getting up to properly fight, but as I can see, you're trying to be non-lethal.
Yeah, that's what I say.
I'm
Next
not gonna
would,
put
next
it
would be
I'm not going to put
next would be Oramis's turn. Next would be Oramis's turn. Oramis, roll me 1d4.
Sure.
Yeah, you're knocked out for 4 hours. I'm very sorry. That's terrifying, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright. So, Oramis is out. Mazzy, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Right. Well, also seeing how powerful this guy is, and I'm now outnumbered, I think fighting definitely isn't the best course of action.
Yeah, you're hardly outnumbered. They got a little imp.
This is the thought process that got you in this situation in the first place.
I'm knocked out. I'm knocked out.
Lethal damage.
Yeah, I might reconsider that.
What is
Oh,
it?
wait,
His mamelee attack is 2 failed death saves, isn't it?
Sorry.
Anyone?
Yeah,
JJ
sorry,
frozen for anyone else?
Yeah, he
you
froze me.
were saying something and you froze.
Oh,
So.
damn.
I'm sure it was hilarious.
Well.
Sorry.
Yeah, just want to check, Ben. Is this still like halfway through the night?
This is still halfway through the night.
Okay, so basically, you're just going to sleep till the morning. That's
You
alright.
got the jump on me because I was half asleep.
Does being unconscious enable you to get a long rest?
I would say it's been the whole thing of it is less than an hour of strenuous activity. So
unconscious is
yes,
bad for you,
Pretty-
so-
Yeah, it's
being
pretty strenuous.
unconscious is quite bad for you, but technically when you are asleep, you are also unconscious in D&D. And therefore I'm going to treat it as the same thing. for fairness.
I think there is a specific line about it, but I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
Whose go is it?
It's me. I was just
Mazzie.
expecting. I just wanted to know, like, before I said anything, but yeah.
It's
So I'm just going
Mazzarious
to say,
who's just wimped out on his old pal Oramis.
I really think you're not getting the gravity of the situation here. I'm going to say, what did you say to me, Sam? Like you,
I said it was just between me and him.
right?
We just want to want to move on.
Yeah. I've just seen you properly wipe out my man, though. So I'm going to say, put your weapon down, or get the fuck out of here.
Oh. For someone
Big
that's,
boy.
you're saying that to someone
You
that's
just wiped out my man.
damage.
Thank you, Matt.
You just wiped him out. I'm going to look threatening, but I'm not going to be starting a fight here. I'm just going to be
Please.
looking like I'm trying to.
Please put your fucking sword down.
Okay. Felix, you've just watched Oramis get wiped the fuck out. Griffin's there holding his sword. Mazzie's looking sort of tentative, trying to figure out his next
I'm like
move.
fight pose ready. Like,
Yeah. Are you holding any actions, Mazzie?
well, I've got my dual sword out, so I'll hold an action with a dual sword.
Okie dokie. What are you doing then, Felix?
I'll just kind of look down at Oramis and be like, was that really necessary? The man is clearly an idiot. But clearly means something to his more capable companions.
Okay.
I would say that was absolutely necessary. I did you a favour. I thought he was a
Maybe-
dick.
I don't know anything about, gods and shit like that, but maybe the mission from Tyr is less about taking down a priest and more about helping teach these people a different way of doing things, or maybe learning a different way of doing things yourself. Maybe it's your mission to keep him alive while he
That's
does,
quite an intelligent thing, because Felix is an intelligent character.
while he does this, whatever it is that they're trying to do. Clearly he's incapable of keeping himself alive. I mean, I don't think the man's seen a fruit in weeks.
Here's a fruit. I am, of course, unconscious.
I don't think he's popping up to say these things. I'm here. Hello. You can't talk about me. I'm gonna hear what my friend Felix has said. I'm gonna go for fuck's sake and just walk off.
What a fancy.
Not too far, but just a little way away. It's still in view, but I'll just go sit down.
Okay. Okay. So we'll drop initiative then for the minute. And so yeah, you've walked off a little bit. Mazzie, you're sort of stood there with Felix. Oramis is sort of just knocked out, splayed across the floor.
But hang on, have you dropped your whole person yet, or am I still just hanging in the air?
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Just leave him hanging. That's fine.
No, I'll drop him.
Cool.
Yeah. As you walk off, all of a sudden Oramis just.
Flat on the floor.
Bear in mind, any healing will wake Oramis up, much like any regular sort of
Yeah, I thought it would.
thing. But
Can't do that.
I mean, we do need a bit of, I think, probably a bit of calm for a bit, so he can stay sleeping for now.
what's happening?
I'm just going to say to this other person who's with me, because have we got your names, by the way, yet? I can't remember.
I
Yeah,
think they
so-
do introduce themselves, yeah.
Yeah, they did. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
they introduce themselves. So you've got JD as Felix and Sam as
I'm just
Griffin.
saying, does Mazzie know?
Right, yeah.
think so.
Well, are we good?
Sure. Why not? Here, why don't
I'm,
we make
I'm
it
ready to fight, but
a
are
little
we
bit more
good?
comfortable, and I'll cast
Are we fine?
Mold Earth to give Oramis like a little like the ground underneath Oramis just rises a little bit and like forms the shape of a bed.
Aww.
Only like 6 inches off the ground, but like there's a little like earthy pillow and stuff like that.
Yeah, just sort of forms up over the ground a little bit as it sort of just rises around you. The ground's fairly sort of dry compared to the sort of wet earth below, so it is actually somewhat, maybe not comfortable, but it's definitely better than sleeping on the cold, wet grass. So what's happening?
Well, I'll put my sword away and go back to where I was sitting. Not really going to say, would you like a seat, but not going to be saying, not against it.
Take a seat, young Felix.
Yeah, I'll plonk myself down beside the fire and I'll pull out one of my hand axes and I'll just like take it and like break it over my knee and just like throw the pieces in the fire and then pull out like a bit of wood that I gathered along the way and just start like shaping a new handle for it, because like that one had like split, so I just basically keep myself busy and just it's kind of there's just this like sort of like awkward silence that I'm just sort of dealing with by making a new thing, like one of my axes is splitting the handle, so I'm just like there's an awkward silence. I will make a thing because that's what I do.
Griffin, what are you up to?
I'd rather break my axe handle and make a new one than talk to you, sir.
Griffin, what are you up to? You've walked a little ways off. What are you doing?
I'm in a bit of thought, like you know when you get your blood boils, you do something and it doesn't quite have the sort of satisfaction you think it would, so I'm just sort of sat there contemplating a little bit.
Shock.
Right, so for character, not satisfying. For me, I loved it. Well, not every minute, every second.
Yeah, that was actually kind of hard to watch. Not gonna lie.
Well, it wasn't very long, so I suppose that was.
That is what she said. Yeah, so the hours sort of roll on by. It's, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Griffin away from the camp, you can probably just hear like the faint sound of the fire crackling and Felix whittling away at this new handle. Felix, you're making a pretty good job of it. Roll me a tools check. Do you have thingy tools, tinkering tools set up? I would say it's dexterity.
I have proficiency with smith's tools, tinker's tools, and leather worker's tools.
I'll say roll me. It's not really wood carving, so just roll me a straight dexterity check. Because it's what was it? Tinker's tools.
Smith's tools.
Smith's tools. I guess you are sort of making a handle for an axe, so yeah, I'll allow you to add your proficiency. So that's 4, so 12.
It's not think. Hold on, I think I get a thing for this. Let me just check. Your proficiency bonus is double when you make an ability check that uses proficiency with a tool. Yeah.
So that's 16, yeah. So you're actually making really, really good headway with this. And Mazzy, you're watching as he's sort of very, almost masterfully crafting this thing. For you, it's not necessarily the best work you've done, but it'll do. It's certainly better than the last thing that was on there.
Yeah.
And you're making pretty darn good sort of way with it. You've at the very least by now you've got the foundations for the sort of things set, and now you're sort of starting to go into the finer details of little bits. Mazzy, you're just sort of sat by the fire. Are you doing anything in particular, or?
Well, no, I was planning to have a rest, but don't really want to rest right now. No.
I guess after a little bit of time,
I want to take a sleep. I think I will start to talk to Felix and say, I understand the urgency of the mission you're on, but myself here and Oramis, we've only got a short time to be able to do this task, and this is what we have set out for. It is important to Oramis, and we need to complete this task. We are very happy to continue and help whatever you need to do going forward, but for now, this is our priorities.
Both Felix and Griffin, also, can you make me a history check? Just to see, because when they've mentioned Hallowhand, just to see sort of whether you might have heard of anything like this.
Yeah.
Would I get advantage, Ben, because I grew up literally right round the corner from where he operates, or
Well, the thing is, he operates
all over?
as technically all over. So,
I think I might know him anyway.
yeah. So Felix, you're thinking Hallowhand. You're not entirely sure. Maybe he was some kind of sailor. It sounds like a very sort of piratey thing. You can make those sort of decent assumptions. But yeah, Griffin, you're fairly you know of him. You know he was a pirate who's sailed the coast and been a bit of a bother, and especially in and around where you're from, you have heard stories of, he obviously Dragbon isn't necessarily the best place in the world, and it certainly has its fair share of crime. But even some of the most scariest dudes in Dragbon are scared of this guy. You've heard. That's what you would know of the situation going forward. Sorry to interrupt you, Mazzy.
No, I'm pretty much finished.
Okay,
but yeah,
just say, well, there's no skin off my nose. I'm just, I it's Griffin's mission. Got himself all wrapped up in whatever Tyr tells him to do. So,
well, can you give him a word from me, because I don't think he's listening to what I'm saying, and just say we are here to help, and if he wants our help, he's got to follow us to the Shattered Coast first.
yeah,
Give and take. It's a two-way street. We'll help you, you help us. Although technically we're both on the same path after, but,
I'll actually, you'll just see sort of him wave his hands in the air, and I actually cast a message to Griffin, and I would just say, "You all right, lad?"
I know what you're going to say, and I know it's right, but I don't want to hear it right now.
He needs some time to.
Okay, shall we sleep on it and discuss in the morning? Let our minds cool until we've had a bit of a rest.
Sounds. Yeah, cool our heads prevail. That's a good idea.
The night drones on. I think it was Oramis's watch, but he's very clearly out for the count. Are any of you sort of going to take his place for the minute, or are you just leaving it till the morning?
I think I also have a message. Let me double check. So I'd probably just message back to Felix, if you want to get some kip. I'm not going to sleep anytime soon, so keep watch.
Okay.
I'll just say to Mazzy, he's going to be up for a while.
Okay.
And, trust him to keep watch. Don't worry about that.
So
I do trust him, but I'm going to sleep with my sword in my hand.
I'm going to
Fair enough.
use mold earth to make a very small earth tent. And,
We could just drag him into his actual tent.
I'm gonna make a very little depression in the ground, and then basically two bits of earth that just form a triangle. And
Okay,
it's only 3 foot because I'm only 3 foot tall.
You should do Toff does, JJ. Just go like that, and it just comes up above you.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm imagining. Just
well,
a little bit of extra.
as Oramis is lying. As Oramis is just lying out in the cold, I'll just drag his body into his tent and leave him there.
I don't think any of you have tents.
I do not.
No, you got bed rolls.
Oh well, I'll drag him onto his bed then. Just.
Thanks.
Fair
I
enough.
know you made him one, JJ, but I assume that one's going to last.
Yeah, I mean, I've shaped the earth, so that's permanent.
Oh, okay, well.
Oh.
There we are. So the night wears on. Nothing
Just double check.
nothing really important happens. Oramis at some point. So that stuff that you guys did was at around sort of 2 a.m. sort of thing. It was on the second watch of the night, so it was around 2 a.m. So if you, I mean, so obviously, Griffin, you said you're not going to sleep.
Not right away. I imagine, like, Felix and I have been traveling together for a little while. He'll probably get up and take a watch at some point.
Okay, so to get a sort of long rest from this point, it'd be sort of like 10 a.m. you're setting off, sort of thing. 10 a.m. you're sort of waking up and setting off. Are you trying to get sort of like the full 8 hours from now?
Yeah.
Or
well, I think little bitch boy is probably going to want a bit of a rest as well. So.
So yeah,
I don't even know if I'm in character anymore.
The hours sort of roll by. The sun comes up. It's still sort of the colder months, so the sun comes up maybe around 7 or 8 in the morning with a sort of quite long sunrise. It's really fucking cold where you guys are, but you manage. It's not raining or anything like that, so that's good. It's just a cold sort of breeze blows through the camp, and at some point or other, the fire does begin to sort of pitter out a little bit. But yeah, you can all take a long rest. You can regain spell slots and things like that. At some point, Oramis, you do wake up after around the 4 hours. You would wake up in a bit of pain. Is there anything you'd like to do after that sort of like 4 hours?
So when I wake up is
oh no, I don't like what you're going to say here.
is Matey around?
I don't know. How long were you staying up for, Griffin?
I don't know. Did I get any divine intervention?
Divine intervention. What do you mean?
Did anyone have a word with me for being a bit of an arsehole?
Huh? No one had a word with you for being a bit of an arsehole, as of yet.
Results. I'd probably
as of yet.
If Felix came out, I'd have swapped with him. But
okay.
Yeah, if knowing Griffin, I'd probably give him sort of a good sort of 2, maybe 2.5 hours to cool off, and then yeah.
So at this point, Griffin's like he's outside, right?
He's
taking the watch, no?
After
Or
about
is he-
4
Okay,
hours.
I'll wait until Oramis gets up.
Okay.
My little thought. I'll wait till Oramis gets up.
Okay, so Oramis, you're back up.
Stab me in the gut.
Can I walk up to him and sneak attack him in the face? No. I'm joking. If I'm assuming, so I'm kind of picturing him sitting by the fire. But wherever he is, I'm gonna go up to him. And this is sensible Oramis. That's woken up.
That is it.
And I'm just gonna say to him, you're obviously a bit powerful. Not as powerful as some I know, but you're quite strong. This would go a lot quicker if you came with us. We could be there and done in a couple of days.
You've taken this very well.
I just want to get the job done. I don't care how.
Too well.
Oh, this is going to be so hard to say.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
I'm sorry. I come from a place where that was the only language some people speak, and I perhaps wrongly assumed it was the only language you spoke.
I just have to do this.
I
So I may be a little hard-headed. No one would ever say that of me normally.
I've heard different, but go on.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, I think. Yeah, I will. Perhaps we can spare some time for this thing, if it means that much to you.
I have a crew waiting for us at the Shattered Coast. Once we've finished him off, we can sail back to the capital quick as you like.
Okay.
Well, quick as the winds will take us.
excellent.
Let's go get ourselves a Hanahan.
Oh, it's
The hours-
persuasion, and I didn't even have to roll for it.
The hours roll by once again. The morning comes. Obviously, I'm assuming like Mazzy, military guy, up pretty early, on point.
I'm already doing press ups.
He's already doing his sort of daily push-up stretches, making sure he's ready for the day ahead.
Every morning, Mazzy eats 1,000 grains of rice, and every time he does a one-armed push-up, he eats a single grain of rice.
I think we've talked about this before. I think you said Oramis was like he quite liked sort of laying in sometimes, not laying in, but
especially
like,
when he's had a bump on the head earlier.
one of the last to properly get up. Griffin and Felix.
You don't have to get up to do the jobs, do you?
Exactly. Griffin and Felix, what do you guys like in the morning? What are you like sort of getting up? Are you up and out early? Or are you sort of like meh?
I think we're quite efficient, aren't we?
Yeah, I think
Probably.
between us we've become relatively efficient.
Yeah, so you guys are fairly up and out. Sort of Oramis is the last, but eventually you do manage to get yourselves up. And you find this morning, Griffin, as you sort of get up and rise, there is a bit of a sort of pain in your chest. It's really sort of it's annoying. It's sort of nagging at your chest and nagging at your head a little bit. And as it sort of begins to slowly pass, unfortunately, you find yourself unable to use your what's it called?
Yeah.
No. Your
Divine Smite?
what's it fucking called? Channel Divinity.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you find yourself unable to use your Channel Divinity today. You know Tyr to be pretty not strict necessarily on his rules, obviously. I don't want to sort of force you into playing a certain way, but
I think
he is a
that's
god
very
of
justified.
He is a
reaction
god
to
of
what
justice, and that was perhaps maybe not the most just thing. You know there are plenty of ways to gain back his favour and things like that, good deeds and continuing things like your prayer
Doing a good deed.
and stuff like that. Especially sort of continuing on your prayer and putting sort of the word of Tyr and the sort of laws of Tyr into work. So this is generally a start to maybe getting that stuff back. But you do find that this morning your heart is heavy with these thoughts and emotions swirling around your head. You back up.
As we have breakfast, I'll just look at feel my heart and just go, oh, the big man's not happy with me.
Shocker.
That he is not. You find yourselves getting your things together pretty quickly, and you make you make moves. You make moves on towards the Shattered Coast. But first, you must unfortunately pass over this river, which you do with ease. You pass over the Bridge of Frey, even. Freya being the goddess of the moon, god of love, beauty, things like that. Pass over that. It's a very, very beautiful bridge made entirely of sort of marble with a lot of different sort of symbols and gems and engravings of sort of love and fertility and all this sort of thing. And you continue down a somewhat sort of dusty path towards your destination. You're heading down towards this quite long path, and everyone just make me a quick survival check, just as you're sort of on your way there.
Do I get advantage?
Unfortunately, you're now out of the mountains. You're now on more open ground, and your things are mountains. Is it grassland, or is it hills? It's mountains. It's Underdark, and it's a third one, and I don't know the third one.
The idea that the Underdark is in any way your favoured terrain is just disgusting.
Well, I'm also counting Underdark as underground caves and any like dark
Subterranean
temples and subterranean places, old temples and
can't see in the
dungeons and things.
Exactly,
For a man
I
that can't
need
see
help.
in the dark, he knows.
He likes it down here.
So what are your
To mountains and forests.
Mountains, yes, it was forests. Mountains, forests, and the Underdark. So unfortunately, you would not get your thing here. So if you want to just roll a quick survival check, unfortunately without advantage. But 2 very good rolls so far.
Luke, would you like to?
3 very good rolls so far.
Would you like to know how much damage I did to you?
Sure.
It was 126.
That kills me, I think, 1.5 times. So.
You're fine. I'm kind of scared though. Up on the move, and though Felix is somewhat sort of lagging behind you guys a little bit, and maybe not quite as aware as maybe he's sort of fiddling with certain tinkering bits, maybe he's still trying to finish off that axe handle just sort of on the move and on the go, little bits that he can do. You are making decent pace. Actually, very.
And clinks when he walks because all these pockets are stuffed with different like nuts and bolts and little bits of scrap metal that he's constantly like pulling out and fiddling with.
Yeah, and over time that's probably got to get a little bit annoying, but it's a good thing that he's obviously very short, so he lags behind a little bit. So that's fine. You guys are continuing on your way, and way off in the distance, just down the road, you notice that there's this sort of these quite large sort of plateaus near and around you now as you're sort of getting just sort of around Dragbont. These large sort of plateaus around the roads and things like that. And in the distance, you can see a caravan of people. Sort of the road ahead of you seems to split 3 ways. One, so it seems to be like 2 roads. One, like say you're on this one, 2 roads coming together to then join and go straight. So not really splitting at all, sort of coming together and forming
a fork.
Exactly. And you guys are sort of on one of these sort of prongs of the fork, and there's one group coming your way, but you can tell there's another group going a bit further. They're quite a large group of people, all different sort of races. You can see quite a large group of tieflings there. They look like merchants, things like that. You can see a somewhat what looks like a sort of circus of people dressed in very sort of fine fabrics and things, and they're juggling and they're doing all this sort of stuff. Lots of merchants with carts and things like that. And can everyone just make me a quick perception check?
Oh. Yeah, so okay, not bad. So Felix and Mazzy, mostly, you guys are sort of walking down. You can see this group coming towards you. They look like a sort of large group of sort of half-orc, furs merchants coming towards you. And you can't help but sort of hear something off in the distance. Unfortunately, they don't get a surprise round. Let me just stick you onto the map. You hear the faint sort of sniffing, these faint sniffing sounds and moving sounds. And you look to your left, and you can see through the trees these strange they're humanoid creatures, but they're almost like half hyena-esque, sort of almost canine. They stand about sort of 6 foot tall-ish, but there is one particularly large one who has this sort of black fur. As you can see there, sort of like skull on his shoulder, bit more padding on him. Definitely looks a bit more nasty, and you can see these things are trying to sneak through the forest on your left to catch this group as they're moving through. You guys have just clocked them, just in your sort of vision, and you can see that they, so far, actually, have they seen you? Let's have a look. They have not. They have not seen you. As of yet, they don't really give a shit about you guys right now.
They're about to.
Mazzy, make me a nature check with advantage.
And one with nature, and nature is with me.
So you know these things to be gnolls. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know a thing or two about gnolls, but in Ambyr, I'm saying that gnolls are all fiends. Gnolls are from the hells. You know that they wander, especially the second and third layers of the hells, where there are large sort of plains and deserts and things like that for them to roam on. You know that they are pack creatures, much like hyenas themselves. So as a pack, they are pretty deadly, but as one, they're no worse than an orc or a random bandit with a sword. Generally, gnolls are people who have gone to hell, who in life have hungered for more, hungered for wealth, hungered for power, hungered for things like that, and therefore they are in the hells transformed into these beings that have an unquenchable hunger and are therefore turned ravenous and are by the archdemons that live down there and archdevils sort of employed as soldiers. Now here's how this combat is going to work. You guys, if you can't see, are down in the bottom right corner. These circles here represent the different sort of areas of the caravan, the different groups of people. The gnolls can make attacks against those groups, and the square will go down, or the circle will go down by half a square every time they are attacked, as you can see. As soon as they get down to one of that's it. Entire group of people dead. Each of these things represents about 20 or so people, sort of crammed together, moving towards the caravan. So, not that these things, and I'm going to tell you now because I've already told JJ and Mazzy would know, not that these things are particularly difficult, because I thought I'd throw a bit of an easy combat at you so that Griffin and Felix can play their characters a little bit without necessarily fear of death. But there is the added slight challenge of not letting people die. And with that, we'll roll a quick bit of initiative. Notice that, remember, these things haven't necessarily seen any of you guys yet. They are focused directly on this group ahead.
Have we seen from where we are, can we see the ones on the top of the hill?
I would say they are technically within your line of sight. So I'd say, yeah, you can see movement, especially with some of you guys' perception checks, like Mazzy 17. You do notice there is movement up at the top of the hill.
I was a bit zoomed in, and there is one spot left.
Yes, unfortunately.
I zoomed out when I started.
So let me with my.
So who spots them? Do I spot them?
No, I'd say you and who else got 17 with Felix. Perception checks. Felix. So Felix and Mazzy, you both have spotted the ones, especially the ones on top of the hill. Griffin, you spotted the ones to the left, but you didn't quite clock the ones right up on the hill. And Oramis, at the minute, you've heard stuff. They rolled really badly on stealth. You've definitely heard stuff to your left. You haven't seen exactly what's there immediately, but you definitely know there is something aloof, something going on. Aloof? Is that the right word? I don't fucking know.
Afoot.
Afoot! Right. Thank you.
Well, I might then quickly just stop our party and say, like, there's about to be an attack on these people, just so everybody's aware. And
then I freeze. That's not good.
Griffin, that's a.
Oh no!
Honest, and now let me just.
Not good.
Oh Jesus Christ! Okay, so.
I've rolled 2 crits this evening, and they've both been initiative rolls. One might argue.
I rolled a 19 and a 20 on initiative, and not once have I started.
Sorry.
Oh shit! And then just before. Cool. So Griffin, it is you first. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do? If you are moving stealthily, you'll obviously have to make a stealth check. Otherwise, it is assumed that you're not caring about that, and they can see you.
Right. I'm going to level with you all. I'm not in the armour for stealth. So I shall brandish my axe and my shield, and I shall say, "Fortia!" And I shall charge to the people.
That goes to the rest of my stealth as well.
As you sort of brandish your axe and shout this, you immediately see, at the very least, the big guy look over to you, and suddenly he just sort of howls like, "Ooh!" And suddenly the rest of this sort of war band somewhat are sort of aware. They all just sort of look to their right as well, but they don't care about the few piddly people. They want the big meal.
Not the big meal.
You may continue with your turn.
So do I think they're going to... If I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30... are they like bracing to attack me, or are they going to go for the people?
They all definitely look like they're going to go for the easy option right now.
Okay.
Which are the unarmored people. By the way, the people do have an initiative order, and they can move. They can't move very fast, mind you. They have like 10 feet of movement speed because they're a big babble of people, and they can't fight back because they're just a big babble of people. But there we go.
Can I firebolt the orange one closest to me, please? Try and get
firebolt. Yeah.
Yeah. Not fire.
Roll to hit. Let me just.
23.
Let me just check. Sorry, with me being extremely.
I'm going to be very
poorly.
upset if a 23 doesn't hit.
I mean, yeah, I'm assuming a 23 would hit, of course. But
25 damage on a cantrip.
And stat blocks.
And he never rolled that well after this session.
You watch. It's like Toll the Dead. I think the first time I rolled Toll the Dead, it was in the 20s. I was like, this is amazing. And I think I'm pretty sure I've rolled like 9s and 8s since then.
Damn. 20 damage. Alright. Yeah, you hurl this little bolt of flame, and it hits the thing directly sort of over the snout, and it sort of burns away a lot of its, as it sort of hits and sort of almost as this sort of tiny explosion of sort of flame over its face. You can just see it burns away a lot of this hair that was, you can see, barely clinging onto this thing anyway. This one's kind of old, kind of craggy, really not very strong at all. But that does definitely hit. It definitely does a fair bit of damage. Nice. Anything else?
No, that is everything.
That is everything. Alrighty. Next up, we do go Mazzy.
Alright, I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, all 4 people on top of the hill are in view, and the 3 on my left are in view. I'm going to cast multi-attack volley. Yeah. And
Alrighty.
fire at every single one of them.
Every single one of the ones at the top.
Can I not do all of them because then everybody's in view?
So you're doing the volley. So you could essentially pick a point, and you can fire at anything within 10 feet of that point. So for example, you could pick that point there, and it'd be anything within 10 feet of there.
Yeah.
So you could get all of the guys up here, the sharpshooters.
I'll do that then. That'll do that then.
Yeah. All right. So roll to hit for the.
I'm going over here to hide a bit, but just so I've got. I don't know what their abilities are, but I'm just sort of still trying to.
Yeah, go for it. So roll to hit. Which one are you hitting first?
Let's go with purple at the front first and make our way back.
Purple,
so purple, red, first. Blue, green. So I'm going.
Purple, red, blue, green. Right. Roll to hit. Hits. Roll damage. Nice. 6 damage. Now red. That is a crit. Roll damage. 5 plus 5. Nice. 10 damage. That also hits.
Yep, blue.
9 damage. And finally...
Oh my god.
The final one skims... just sort of skims over the over the top of his head. Each of them letting out a loud sort of howl as well, and you can now like audibly hear this group of people who before didn't even realize any of these things were here, and are like audibly scared, and they're looking as if they're going to be running very frantically, somewhat helpless. Is there anything else on your turn, Mazzy?
No, that's all.
Alrighty, Felix.
Okay. So, do these look like it's a single, like, because they're quite spread out over the road? Do they look like they're a single? Can I tell which direction this group was travelling in?
So they were travelling in. So, like I said, obviously there's a fork, and so they are travelling north. They all look travelling north, except for so this group here, the one closest to you, looks like it's coming towards you.
Okay. So it's like a big group
the rest of them,
intersecting
yeah,
with a smaller group.
Yeah. So it's a big group coming from the sort of west, so from the left-hand side of the map. They've reached this intersection here, and then most of the groups look like they're going north, but this one group here that's in front of you looks like it's coming south.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I would like to use Giant's Might and go big.
Tiny dude's big now.
Oh, did you make your guy on like one of the 3D printing sites?
Yeah, I did.
Hero Forge,
cool
yeah.
idea, actually.
And then I want to like 5, 10,
Bottom right,
15,
Mm,
20,
that is cool.
25, just towards this group, and kind of like just start like giving directions, like trying to keep like any like people together and like get them sort of moving towards everyone else, so like keep them sort of here where they'd...
Make me either a persuasion or intimidation check, depending on how you're sort of doing this. Yeah, nice. Yeah, these people seem
just to
not
try and
necessarily
keep them,
calm, but they are
keep
listening.
them calm enough that they'll not like don't want a like small child left on their own situation.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Cool. So, is that everything on your turn, Felix?
Yes.
Cool. So now, unfortunately, it is the ranged gnolls and the big guy. So these ones are going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and they are going to pull out their little short bows and try and shoot a big herd of people, which is, I mean, it's a DC. They need to be at a 10. So that one hits, and that one hits, and unfortunately, these two groups here. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Go down a size. It's that one there, and that one there goes down a size, and that one goes down a size too. And big guy is he's gonna see you two, but he does have a really low intelligence and he's fucking hungry, so he's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and throw a javelin at... You can actually throw 2 javelins, so he's going to throw one at Felix, who I'll give... I mean, you're pretty big. This thing's like maybe 5 feet. Not really 5 feet, like 3 feet. How big are you now? As a large creature, about
like
12
foot.
feet. Yeah, so I'll say... That probably wouldn't give you much cover. So I'm going to say he throws 1 javelin at you. Natural 2. I'm assuming that doesn't hit. Unless he has some crazy fucking thing. And then he's going to throw another one. You know what? He's pissed off that he didn't hit you with that one. So he's going to go and throw another one at you. That's a 14.
That misses.
That misses. Excellent. And then, let me just read the wording of this. So it is not alpha, rampage, bonus action to move. He hasn't reduced anyone to 0 speed. Okay, and then I think that's what he's going to do. Actually, no, he's going to use his Incite Rampage ability. And basically just point at one of these gnolls here, like this guy back here, and he just growls at him, like really sort of fiercely. And this guy is going to move up to half a speed, so 5, 10, 15, and he's going to throw a javelin at Griffin, who hit him in the face. That is a 18 to hit, which does not hit. Holy fucking shitballs. As this javelin sort of whirs past your head, very sort of poorly thrown. Well, it would have been somewhat decently thrown, but it's like just the corner of it just sort of chinks off your armor. Easily done. And I think that's everything on their turn. So Oramis, it is your turn.
Okay. With a bonus action dash, I'm going to move to there.
Nice.
And I'm going to... You guessed it, folks. Eldritch Blast up at these guys.
All three of them.
Just
These
blast
two on
up
the
at
edge,
there, yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely say you could hit those two and the other one. So nothing's come through for me. It's just said Oramis, and then it's a
Yeah, it does.
and then it's just a thing.
Yeah, I got the same.
Same has happened for me.
What? Right. Try again.
It was such a good attack.
There we go. 16. 16, I believe, does hit.
His warlock stuff is
sharpshooter.
Dolus was so unimpressed with how he dealt with.
That's 14 damage. So yeah, this one you're hitting blue, right?
Yeah, blue.
Yeah, blue goes bye-bye. As this bolt just sort of smacks into his thing, and you can just as it sort of gets hit and crumples to the ground.
Second one for green.
Second one for green, I believe.
That's supposed to be gone. I him.
You know, this is the one you missed. This is the one you got a nat 1 on.
The last one was the one I got that one, and that was red.
No, because these two were behind. These two were behind the others.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Before, so unfortunately, that is the first hit. So that's 9 damage.
Is it dead?
It is not dead.
Is
It
it
is
dead
now dead. He is now dead. As again, this sort of gets absolutely slammed to the ground, and they are dead.
Beautiful.
Anything else on your turn? That's bonus action, that's movement, and that's
No,
action. So I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Gnoll infantry. Right. Now let's have a look at these guys. So this one is going to think he's fucking tough as shit. He's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, trying to stay away from the big, scary gnome, which is maybe a phrase that's never been said before. And he's going to try and hit. That's a natural 20 on you, Griffin.
I am going to invoke my Cloud Rune and cause the damage of this attack to hit the big gnoll.
The damage of the attack to hit the big gnoll, alright.
When a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to invoke the rune and choose a different creature within 30 feet of you, other than the attacker. The chosen creature becomes the target of the attack using the same roll. This magic can transfer the attack's effects regardless of the attack's range. Once you invoke the rune, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest.
I see. So what actually happens is this thing pulls out this javelin, which as you're sort of up close to it, you can see it's got this sort of spear tip, and then the wood either side has just been hacked into to create these sort of almost sort of look like thorns that sort of come out of the side. So as it stabs into you, it like essentially tears your flesh, and it manages to just find the sort of, with its momentum, it manages to find just a small sort of break in Felix's armor. And as it sort of Griffin's armor, sorry, and as it passes through Griffin, you just feel nothing. It doesn't even impale into you. It just sort of disappears underneath the plate of your armor, and you can hear the howl of the large one. So that's 5, 9 plus 3. That's 12 damage against the thing. No, that's doubled. Well, not doubled, but 12. 18 damage. against that thing, and unfortunately, its speed is also reduced by 10 feet. Look at that, everyone.
I'm going to turn around, see Felix sort of grinning a little bit, and I'm just going to...
Alright. That's that first one. This one is then... So this one's got a little fortified symbol on it, because he has a shield, unlike the others. So he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30... And he's going to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he's just going to get right up into the middle of this group and just start sort of growling and gnashing at people. It's not necessarily attacked quite yet, but there we go. And then these guys, 5, 10, 15, 20, leap down. He has to make a check. Natural 2. Congratulations, you fuckwit. You've taken 5 damage. As it lands, it lands on its front paws, but they just sort of crumple beneath the weight of it, and it just smacks its snout on the ground. Like the fucking idiot it is. But then it's going to go over here and make 2 attacks against the people. Obviously hits. So unfortunately, that... It's them reduced, and 5, 10, 15 drops down to there. I'd say that's probably all of his movement just to get down to there. But he's going to throw a couple of javelins. Yeah. Just keeping an eye out for a nat 1 in there, because obviously he's going to do some damage. So then that's going to have this one reduced down to that size. So now it's just this group of people just sort of huddling by the cart, all absolutely terrified, screaming and crying, as you can see as they're sort of pulling back from each other. You could just see a couple of unfortunate commoners who've been caught in the fray. Now it's the commoners, and this group's going to go 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10. They're going to follow your word, Felix. 5, 10, 5, 10. And these ones aren't going to move because they've got a guy in their space and they're fucking terrified. Griffin, your turn again.
Okay, I'm going to move away from this guy, which I understand will invoke attack
opportunity.
I'll take that.
Of course. That's Griffin, does a 5 hit?
This might surprise you, Ben. It does.
Oh my god! Yeah!
Griffin is armoured everywhere except for the butt, which is exposed when he flees.
Okay. So I'm going to get to about here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast, using sorcery points, 2 sorcery points. I'm going to cast Darkness.
Going to cast Darkness?
Yeah, and the point I'm going to choose that it emanates from is my shield.
Is your shield?
So it moves
okay.
with me. It's a 15-foot radius, I think.
Bear in mind this is magical darkness, so you can't see either.
See, the thing is, Ben, because of my sorcerer subclass, and because I've cast it with sorcery points, I can see through this darkness.
I see, Samuel. You're a bastard, and I hate you. But go on.
Please. Okay, right, where's the Sirica tool?
That's the thing you want your DM to say every session. You're a bastard and I hate you.
You're a bastard and I hate you. If changing my roles wasn't fucking enough, now you've got Smitey McSmited and doing the smite.
And I can turn your
and just being a bit of a bitch.
Enemies.
Yes. This will be fun to balance for, eh? Hey!
I think that's right.
You fucking... yeah, so if it's with your shield, it'll move with you. It's a bit...
So I'm going to move.
I've never seen a shitter circle.
30. Sorry. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, that's about right.
You're concentrating on a spell.
Yes, little clock boy.
I'm
doing all the drawings.
What are you doing?
I'm losing the plot, man.
What are you doing?
I've deleted my token.
And he dies.
I'm huge. JJ's casting large on me. Oh no.
Right.
Okay, so I went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to go here.
So you're going to go there.
Well, I appreciate this might catch a few. Oh no, they're mostly catchy. Oramis, I'm sorry.
Oramis, you're suddenly just enveloped in complete darkness. You have no
Why
fucking
you
clue
do
what's
this
going
to
on.
me?
It's funny, man.
You're a funny guy.
And
No me
that's my
gusta.
turn. That's my turn.
And that's your turn. Alright. Mazzy, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to move up to here. Now, do I have a line of sight on this guy? Because of
On which guy? The
red.
Red. I would say I'll give him half cover, but you would technically have line of sight on him just because of the people in the cart and the small bush that's here. But yeah.
All right then. Well, when I'm about here, I'm going to get my sky boots out and just walk 15 feet in the air, but at an angle. So walking up.
All right.
Phrase, get
Let's
my
get the high
sky
ground.
boots out, like they're in your bag, and you put them on.
Going to activate
One
them.
moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
fucking
now
British,
he
like,
is
really
very
angry,
clearly
like,
in
tying
view.
his shoelaces.
Now
It's
he is
like
very
like
clearly in
football or
view, and
something,
you can
you've
see
got
below you
your
all these
boots
people
on.
are suddenly very amazed as to the fact that you've just sort of stepped over their heads. They're like, whoa.
If I want to make it really dramatic, I could jump at the same time. But
Yeah.
no, I want to make sure I hit the guy instead of dramatic effect because people's lives are at stake here.
That is fair.
I'm going to attack the guy.
Gonna attack the guy. Alrighty. Definitely hits. Roll the damage. 9. Are you attacking him again?
Is he still alive?
He is
Yes,
unfortunately still
He's
alive.
not dead, so yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh no. So you've sort of sprinted up to this thing, you've leaped sort of off, and in the middle of the air you've just drawn sort of 2 arrows, pull the first one, fire, straight in the chest, and then the second one just sort of, it's as you're sort of lowering down in the sky, and you just aimed it wrong, so where it would have hit him square in the chest, now your height is very quickly sort of going down, it unfortunately goes just between his legs. So you just hit the chest. Oh? But nicely done. Anything else?
No. I suppose I'm not 15 feet in the air because I'm going at a sort of a diagonal angle. So how high would you say I am?
No, I'd say for the purposes of ease, I'm going to say you're 15 feet in the air. I can't be bothered with maths right now, so you're 15 feet in the air.
Well, can I hover? Can I just stay there? Do the boots
So
work like that?
until your next turn, you are technically like right now in midair, sort of thing.
Okay, well, I'm not going to use them again. So at the end of my road, I'm just going to fall down. So I'll just say I'll come down. I'll sort of stop working, and I'll just take the fall.
Okay. After Mazzy, it is Felix. Felix, you've
Okay.
seen a big area of blackness.
So everyone is kind of getting shot a bit, so I want to try and like draw some fire. So I'm gonna cast Enlarge on myself.
He's not big enough.
You guys watch as like Mazzy, Oramis. Actually, no, not Oramis. So Mazzy, you just watch as sort of Griffin went huge. You've seen like Duragar and stuff do this before, but now like he just keeps growing and growing and growing until he's now like a staggering 30 feet tall. This fucking Goliath of Felix. Yeah, that's fucking insane.
And then I'm gonna start to sing.
Oh lord, here we go. You gonna RP that, please?
No. No, I'm really not.
Sing us a song, oh piano man.
I'm gonna do it in Gnomish, so none of you can understand.
I speak Gnomish.
Do you?
Nah.
Yeah.
But as you're sort of way up here, like now you do spot that in this forward group of people, there are actually a couple of gnomes. One of them looks back like, "Hey, what the fuck's going on here?"
Alright, lads.
Oh, what's happened?
Is that everything?
Yeah, that's
On your
action,
turn?
bonus action. I'm just trying to draw fire now, given... I imagine sort of tens of people have died at this point, so...
Yeah, about sort of like 9 or 10 people have unfortunately fallen at this point, so it's not looking good. So now it's the infantry's turn. Actually, no, now it's the ranged and big guy's turns. The big guy doesn't like the fact that he's now in darkness, but he's fucking dumb. So what's he going to do? Let's have a look. So what's his it seems like -2. But he does have a very big club. He can't see anyone, so he can't even fucking use his rampage ability. So he's going to go insight rampage ability anyway. So he's going to go. Okay, that's what he's going to do. So he's going to use his bonus action to howl, and as he does howl, you notice way back in the trees 2 more show up. I will swap the orange's colour to make that a lot easier to sort of thing. There we go, purple. That's good enough. And he's going to take 2 swings at Thingy with disadvantage. Because fuck you.
Who's swinging at me?
Yeah, you.
You just let me know if it hits, please.
I can. That one. Hits.
Hits. Can I cast shield, please?
What does that make your AC?
25.
25. 27.
Oh! In the dark!
Oh, fuck! Of course, it's a disadvantage. Oh my god.
Yeah, they'll
22.
Cocky
But
little
then
cock
shield,
hands.
so there we go.
Yeah, so it's my shield. Okay.
Yeah, so as he's swinging, like, you can see through this, and he just sort of blindly sort of things with the first one, like, not even in your square, like, in the square sort of next to you, and ends up hitting the tree trunk. And then in the next one, it does sort of look like it's coming down right on your head before you cast shield, and this very brief sort of shimmer of light appears just over your head. Ding! Smacking sort of over your head, hitting the shield. That is all he can do as of now, except he can move, and with his movement he is going to do... He's not going to move. No, he's not going to move. That is it. Oramis.
Okay, can I get out of the dark?
You can, so you know about where you are. You don't know where the darkness has sort of originated. Well, you know where it's originated, but you don't necessarily know like it is just darkness. So I guess you would just be moving in a random area. I'll say that you would have seen him cast darkness, or cast a spell, and the darkness would have sort of originated from him. So it makes sense that moving backwards from him might get you into the light. So I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Dankeschön.
Poking your little head out of the darkness, like, hello.
Hello. Can I, or do I try out my new spell, or do I just do the sensible thing? I want to see how this works. 5, 10.
It's alright, Luke. It's not like lots of innocent people's lives depend on it.
Give it a rest, mate. I'm going to cast Lightning Lure on this guy here.
On that guy there. Alright, so is there a save he needs to make, or do you need to hit, or what?
He needs to make... strength saving throw.
Strength saving Fringio.
Spell save DC is 17.
He rolled a 10.
So he's... Target must see... Blah, blah, blah. He's pulled 10 feet in a straight line towards me and takes 1d8 lightning damage. Higher levels... so he takes 3d8 damage.
3d8 damage, roll 3d8. 15. As you cast the lightning lure towards him, this arc of lightning springing from your hand, wrapping itself around this knoll, and just tug at it. It sort of gets zapped, like flung towards you, and what lands right in front of you is just the dead body of a knoll.
Oh, rad.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I took how many? I took 5 feet of movement.
Well, it was 5 feet of movement to get out, then 10, 15.
20. Shadowblade, not Shadowblade. Bonus action. That little one. Concealblade.
That little one. Concealblade, yep. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit as you're sort of in this large group of people. They're all getting in the way. And this thing is sort of frantically and very sort of furiously just sort of lashing around with its scimitar in one hand, shield in the other, and also just with its like mouth just sort of biting at people. You're not able to get a very clear hit at it, unfortunately. That's everything, is it?
Yes, that is.
Excellent. Now we go to the infantry of the gnolls, so this first one, let's go for this first one next to Oramis. So it's going to make a couple of attacks against you. That's a natural 19 plus, I should probably learn what the plus is, like plus 5. So that's 23, which I'm assuming hits. So let's go 3, 8 plus 3. That's 11 slashing damage. With the first attack.
It
could be 5. It could be 5 if you want it to be 5. The second attack is actually going to go against the people that are around here. 7 plus 4, plus 5 even, that hits. And because I'm going to say that obviously this has killed people, he can make a bonus action to bite you. So he's going to try and bite you. But he's going to fail. That's a 7 to hit.
That's what I get.
These guys are not doing as well as I would have hoped. This one over here is going to be, though very weak, is looking towards the group of people who are not very well suited. It's going to go 5, 10, 15. And as you can't really see anyone from there, so unfortunately he will just make 2 attacks against these people. It's 13, so unfortunately these people will go down in size. And a 10. So this group of people over here is now just like a group of like 3 or 4 people just sort of huddled together as a lot of people have been mowed down. It can make its bonus action bite. I feel like that's mean, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, 9. Unfortunately, this group over here is lost to the rampaging gnolls. This one is going to go try his luck against the massive thing, as he thinks he scared away the one in all the armor. So he's going to try his hand at the fucking giant thing over there and just sort of start poking at his feet with this little javelin. It's a 23 to hit. Shield. Alrighty. What is that? What does that make your AC? I'm assuming more than 23. 25. Yeah. So as he sort of pokes at just your shoe, essentially, just this sort of clashes off it, and if he beats a 20, yeah, no, he can't beat a fucking 25. What the fuck? You'd need to get a crit, and that would only just do it. So that's him being fucking useless. And then these two are going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, ends his turn upon there. This one's going to not bonus action dash, but just dash. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And this one is going to dash 5, 10, 15, 20. That makes their turns. Commoners. I'll deal with the commoners. Griffin, you're up. So if you just want to take your turn while I'm just sort of... commoners are all just moving. So yeah, whatever you want to do, go for it.
Gonna take 2 big dick swings at this boy in front of me.
Big dick swings.
Advantage. Thank the Lord.
With advantage, 21, yeah, hits.
I feel like it's probably something you say to yourself a lot, Ben, when you're playing your character sticks, but like, to smite or not to smite?
Exactly. And JJ can attest that 90% of the time it ends up being to smite. What even are spell slots? Am I right, folks?
So we'll do some damage. Oh,
12
all hits
damage.
are one-handed, by the way, because I'm holding the shield.
Yeah,
I know that seems sus now because I just got a 12, but
yeah, no, you cleave quite a heavy sort of hit just between this thing's rib cage.
yeah.
With the first attack.
Is it 2d8 at first level?
2d at first level, yeah.
Okay, we'll just do a 2d8 then. Oh no, we'll do a 3d8 actually. 3d8. 14. So 26 damage.
He's going to use his reaction to make a bite against you.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage, that's a 20. Unnatural 20, luckily. Would that hit?
With disadvantage?
With disadvantage. Oh, no. Fuck. Disadvantage. No, actually, that's a 19.
19 does not hit. Thank the Lord.
Does not hit.
Alright. You track it. What did I just cast? I cast a level 2.
Divine Smite.
Okay, I'm going to hit him again. Thank the Lord for advantage on this one.
Thank the Lord for advantage.
122.
22.
That's 2 max damages. That's decent.
12, nicely done. That makes it. He is unfortunately still up.
I'm going to Divine Smite him at level 3, which
Divine Smite
is
him level
48.
3. That is. That's. Yeah.
48.
Yes! That is 48, yeah, I think.
I'll promise I'll be more efficient than this, but I'm trying to be quick, JJ, because people are dying. And that's wank.
That is wank, and not quite enough to get him, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Not quite enough. This one definitely seems a lot tougher than the rest of them, although he is now like looking very weak and very scared, and you can see like as you're divine smiting him, like what does your divine smite look like? I know a lot of people have different sort of things of what you imagine divine smite to be.
Oh, it's just a glow for my weapon. Like it's like infused with power, and it just sort of, I don't know. It looks effortless, but like it just hits a lot harder. From these
sort of brief glows that you see from your weapon, and obviously you can see this thing with each hit. You just see this flash of it, just like at first it's like a sort of really angry, hungry grin, and then it's this like really furious sort of just snarl, and now it's just this absolutely terrified whimper, like as you just keep hacking into this thing relentlessly. Anything else on your turn?
I'm going to move. If I move there, does that get this guy, the red one?
I'd say that's right in the tree trunk. Where you're currently stood there.
No, I'm just going to block his way. I'm just going to block his way.
Yeah, just blocking his way. Fair enough. Mazzy.
Is it any extra movement to get onto this cart here?
I'd say make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay.
Actually, no. You don't. Difficult terrain doesn't bother you. So
okay.
No. I'm going to say no, Mazzy.
Okay. I'm going to get here and I'm going to make an attack with my big sword.
Your big sword.
I'm going to try and stab down on him because hopefully this will be the end.
Go for it. He's a man with a plan, and that plan works. Death. And that plan is indeed death. As you leap up onto the cart and stab down at the back of this thing, it's looking like it's sort of going to run up away from you towards this other group, and it sort of snarls towards them. But then all of a sudden, it just gets a sword through the top of the head, down through its mouth. Nicely done. This one is Gonzo. Anything else on your turn?
I've moved as far as I can, and I can't use another attack because I've got my sword out. So no.
Fair enough. Felix.
Do you mind if I just take a break at the end of this round? So do you mind if I could go now?
Yeah. Yeah. Go for it. Felix.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my rages finally and go.
Which at this point are just fucking huge.
Or do they stay the same size? He's just got little needles.
No, these are like absolutely massive. These blades are now like the size of you guys. Like this is like a griffin-sized blade. Roll to hit.
I'm gonna roll a red.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that hits.
So that is 9.
That's a
plus that,
bonk.
Plus that.
9 plus 3, 12 plus 6, 18. He's alive. He's not happy about it, but he's alive.
I'm gonna do it again.
Yep, that hits.
Oh my god.
What's that?
Yep, he's not alive anymore as you just swing down first one, slam down on him, essentially lopping off like his arm, and then the second one just slicing back up, and it's just this cleave that essentially just rips his torso in two. Like, oh my god. Anything else?
I'm gonna turn around and bonus action attack the one behind me.
One behind you. Go for it. 17, yep.
He should be dead.
And that.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. This one had 2 hit points. JJ? 2.
Well, now he's in 2 pieces.
Exactly.
What
As you
great
then
hit
just
point.
swing around, and this sword, just like, you can just see his eyes like, this huge sword just slices it completely in half. Gone.
What's the radius on your magical darkness, Griffin?
15 feet.
Okay, so I can just go 5, 10, 15,
You're taller than the darkness.
20, 25 feet, and just stand like half in shadow, like slide, like with these.
Just sort of walking like with your arms like above it, like not quite sure if it's water or not wanting to accidentally hit Griffin.
So when you sing or speak, is it really slowed like in films?
Nicely done. So it's the Knoll bad guy who he's felt the presence of something fucking huge just walking into the area, but he hasn't seen anything, so he's gonna make a couple of attacks. Disadvantage. Griffin, that hits.
I was gonna say, I can't see Griffin or.
I'll just take the hit.
You'll take the hit. D12. What does the D12 look like? That's a D10, right? D12. That's fucking appalling. That's 15 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
As you see this club with just lots of different like teeth of different animals strapped to it just swing at you and hit you in the side, and then that does not hit. That is a 4 plus whatever his thing is. First hit, slam, tries to follow it up, but he tries to do it in exactly the same place, and you're just like, he's like, oh, if that one worked, this one will work, and then no, completely misses. Oramis, you are up. My
At
guy.
the end of the turn.
It's Oramis, then the Knoll infantry, and then
Okay.
and that's it. So we'll we'll take a break at the end of the Knoll's turn. So Oramis, let's get through your go.
Yeah. Concealed blade green, please.
Concealed blade green, that hits 6 piercing damage. Nice.
I'm gonna risk the attackable opportunity and just take a step back.
Yep, that's 2 attacks of opportunity. So that's 15 plus 5. That's an unnatural 20.
Boom.
How
From
close his arm is to me? 5,
Uh,
20, 25. I think as a reaction, I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs. So it has to re-roll and use the lower roll.
Reroll and use the lower roll. Yeah, that was good. That misses. Now rolls a
Awesome.
11. But
That's familiar.
the purple one now gets his attack of opportunity, and that is 10. You're able to dip out of there easily.
Sweet. So we're going to fire off Eldritch Blast at green.
I'll say green has... I was about to say it has a lot of cover, but that doesn't fucking matter, does it? And he's just so dead.
That's max everything.
That is max everything, yeah. And yeah, you just except for the second attack, but holy crap, yeah, you just sort of like there's this woman in front of you, and you just sort of give her a wink, push her slightly to the side, and then just bang, and this attack just sort of straight. It's like it literally like, opens its mouth to growl at you, and this blast just goes into its mouth and out the back the other side, completely gonzo.
Purple.
Poiple still hits. Yeah, that's 6 damage.
Bug spray.
And the last one.
And unfortunately, that is a natural 1, as the second one just goes
now, like,
chittering towards the back.
Train a dog.
No, off the side.
So just to get through this, because there's actually only one knoll left. His friend is in darkness. There's lots of people. He's just going to attack the people twice. Bonus action, come around here, and bonus action bite on you. That's 18, which I believe does hit. So that's 3 plus 2. That's 5 piercing damage. And that's a break.
Huzzah.
Gucci.
We'll be back.
2 piercing damage.
Unfortunately, they didn't. But we go back into the initiative order, and we go straight back in with Griffin. Actually, no. Griffin, you do your turn. I'm going to move the commoners again. Not that I think it'll have much impact on anything, but there we go. Let's take a move there. Go for
Big Noel in front of me. He's going to get some hits from my Axie. Yes, please.
your Axie.
You could tell why I wasn't a bard. Oh, it's a crit.
Oh, it's a crit. All right, let's see this one.
Oh, that's true.
One-handed.
14.
14. Right.
How's he looking? Is he dead,
I'll-
basically?
I'll say this: you won't need to multi-attack. You will not need to multi-attack at all. He's very much dead. How would you like to take down this? What was meant to be the alpha of the group, but he's been a little bit of a bitch.
Well, he's lasted longer than everyone else.
How would you like to do this, Sir Griffin?
So I'm gonna make it sound quite sad, but I just see him flailing about in the darkness, and it's just really easy to pick my spot and just drive my axe home.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
very like you're just flailing around in the darkness, and there's just this one moment where like it's exhausted. You've cleaved into it a lot. You can see it's bleeding, and it just swings, and it just takes a moment to sort of gather its breath. And in this brief moment, you just put an end to it, chop to the neck, and with this sort of huge sort of cleave in his neck, it's just easy enough. The thing falls. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah. I don't think it says anything about this, so I guess it's up to your interpretation. But if I can see through the darkness, do you think I can see through the darkness beyond out of it?
If you can see through the darkness, then yes, you can see out of the darkness.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I go here?
You can, yes.
So I'll take my circle with me, and then I'll use my second attack on this boy.
Yes, as you're sort of walking forward, again with this darkness, like this thing looks briefly over at you, and it can like see you walking, and then all of a sudden, well, it can't even see you walking. It can just see this large sort of area of darkness sort of loom over it into its area. Oramis, you're suddenly enveloped in this darkness too. Roll to hit.
Just before I roll to it, I'm gonna whisper. I don't know if it can understand me, but I'm gonna whisper, "You're stuck in here with me."
And a 17 does indeed hit. Roll the damage.
12.
12 damage. Yeah, it's not dead.
I won't divine smite. I feel like I should say, how do you want to play it? Would you let me divine smite now, or should I call it earlier?
I'll let you do it now. I think as we play. Like I've never played with the paladin before, so as we I'll make a ruling on that. But
it allows you to do it when you hit. It says when you hit with an attack, so you can choose to do it once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like with critical hits and stuff, like you can save all your smites for when you hit.
Yeah. So
with a crit, and then you can just add fuck tons of damage.
And then, as you say, max out your divine smite or max out crit. Like you did to Oramis.
Exactly.
4.
That is in fact enough. So as this darkness develops, it all of a sudden it's just there, like panting, and almost like sort of you can just hear these faint like laughs and giggles like hyenas sort of do in this darkness, but they're very very faint and they're very sort of tired, and it just then hears like, "You're stuck in here with me," and it thinks it's from one direction, opening up its neck, and then just again straight down, chopped like a cleaver. This thing just immediately falls. The brief glow, you can see Oramis as, you can just hear this squelch as this thing is unfortunately killed. And
I'm gonna
that,
cancel
gentlemen,
my darkness.
And that, gentlemen, is the end of initiative. We're out of initiative. The people around you are like crying. Some people are absolutely terrified. But
They're
they
just
are
terrified
happy.
of Sam.
They
Of the
are
giant-
happy.
The giant gnome.
A lot of people are sort of like looking to you. A lot of people are very interested in Felix, who, like, they can tell from his anatomy that he is meant to be small, but he is very much not fucking small right now. He is huge, and in fact, like I said, that sort of gnomish troop. Actually, they were in the group that all died, so I'm very sorry about that. So all the groups sort of gather back together. People are very thankful towards you, obviously. Lots and lots of people sort of coming up to you, thanking you, offering up to sort of give you, like, the few pieces that they can spare. So, you know, like, if anyone wanted to take any of this stuff, they can add, like, 10 gold to their inventory.
No.
As people are, like, sort of running up to you, like, oh my god, thank you, oh my god, you saved us. There are people crying and screaming, sort of holding their loved ones. You can hear one particular woman sort of shouting and screaming out, Joseph! Where's Joseph? Screaming out, crying. It seems she's lost someone called Joseph, and she's sprinting around the entire area, trying to find whoever this Joseph is.
After a minute, I will return to normal size. Is that how long this lasts?
Can I find the leader? Or
The leader?
The leader.
So there is no particular leader per se, but there was a group that were sort of nearer the front. This sort of group here. And you see this group. And make me... So if you're doing this, make me a history check, Griffin.
Big history check coming up. Super exciting.
With advantage. Because your backstory with advantage.
Don't know why you bother.
Don't know why I bother. Yeah, you see this man sort of at the front of the group. Him and a lot of other fairly rugged types. They look like his sort of like personal guard, yet they're not guard of any sort of official status. They are just a bunch of big burly blokes. He himself is a man who's clearly getting on a little bit, maybe 60, 70 years old. A very finely trimmed beard, a red robe, and sort of poncho over him, inlaid with sort of golden patterns and things like that. Sort of a very fancy pack, though he holds very little. In fact, all of his men hold all of their stuff, or all of his stuff for him, as well as a sort of pack horse that's near him as well. As you're trying to find him, he makes it a mission to sort of come and find all of you, and as you sort of go up to him, oh, my dear fellows, that was fantastic! Oh, my word, I've never seen such ferocious beasts. That was... Lord, those fucking demons. And he finds sort of the body of one and just sort of goes to sort of kick it, but then he realizes, oh no, I get blood on my shoes, and steps away a little bit. Oh, well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Wow, that was some display. I mean, with your friend going ever so large for such a small man, and the darkness rather scary. Neat little trick indeed. You are an Asimar, are you not, sir?
I'm indeed. Tears blessings be on you, by the way.
Ah, yes.
May I
Yes,
ask, good
yes.
sir, why are you travelling without any guards? These are dangerous times.
Ah, well, you know how it is. We've just been at wars. Hardly time for guards on the roads and things like that. They're all in the villages and sat on their arse doing piss all, if you ask me. I have my own guard here. These fine gentlemen, and he sort of points over to his men, who are all like just sort of stood there, kicking their boots. One's picking his nose with his pinky, like doing nothing really. Big, quite burly types, like each like taller than 6 foot. Fucking strong, like in D&D terms, you could tell they have at least like a +3, +4 to strength. Pretty sort of burly dudes. Yes, these are my traveling guard, but I would not want my luggage to be handled poorly in these times, and besides, we didn't want to get in your way. I told them to stay out of it. Told them to stay out of your way. You're welcome for that. But no guard.
Hang on.
Like us.
This
I don't
person,
think-
then, is he like a noble, or is he like just sort of like a merchant?
Make me a insight check or investigation, depending on how you're sort of going to do this sort of thing. Yes, this guy definitely looks noble, given the sort of fancy rings on his fingers, the lack of essentially stuff like he has with him. Like, it all just sort of looks like suitcases and bags with clothes and things like that on it. No, like, wares to sell. He's obviously a little bit older. He's with a sort of quite bigger guard. Burly guard, but not necessarily a thing. So he looks more noble than merchant. Yet it is a little bit strange that he doesn't walk with a official troop, official sort of amber guardsman troop. Actual soldiers. A little bit strange. In the distance, you can still hear this woman crying out for Joseph, whoever the fuck that is. She still can't fucking find him. And he's like, oh, will someone shut that woman up, please? Yes, mighty fine show indeed. Come on, everyone, let's get back to it, men. We have a deadline. Come on, pack up your things. Let's keep moving. A woman just sort of shouts away. You can't expect us just to get back up and moving. We have dead to bury. We need to get them on the cart. On the cart? The cart should be for the living, goddammit. These people are dead, leaving by the side of the road. We have a deadline. Come on, let us get bloody moving. And they start to sort of walk away. But as they walk away, the man turns. Me, Dragbont, my good man. Dragbont, yes.
We're headed that way, aren't we?
Such an activity as this has tied us up, and we'll need a short rest before we continue on our journeys, but we are headed in the same direction.
Interesting.
May have to employ some extra protection along the way.
Oh, no, that could certainly be of use. I mean, if I have men to hold the bags, I can have men to hold the swords. Excellent. Well, yes, men, get out my chair. I'll not be sitting on the ground. You two, and he just points at two random guys who very clearly look like farmers or some such. Like, clear away some of these bodies. No one wants to look at these. And they're just like, we don't work for you. Who the fuck are you? Yes. Come on, hip. Let us sit down. And he begins to set up a lot of stuff, sort of over here, like towards these trees. One of them, sort of from one of the bags, pulls out this sort of collection of two poles, pulls out these poles and extends and unfolds them in really sort of strange and contortative ways, and it eventually makes a sort of camping chair. Another one from one of the bags pulls out a pillow, a very plump pillow, which he proceeds to sort of fluff and pat and sort of thing up, places it very neatly on the thing. He sits down. Oh, that is the stuff. I'm a big fan of this whole nature thing. I do like what they're doing with the place. Very, very. I'll get my sweater out of the way. Very, yes. Oh, that horrid smell. The perfume, please, perfume. One of them pulls out a little vial of perfume and starts spraying it over him. Oh, much better, much better. Yes. Care to take a seat, my fellows, or?
I'm just going to message Felix, so only he can hear it, and I'll just say, I can't believe we've met two dickheads in the space of a day.
Yes, the dickhead to day ratio is certainly going up.
This woman is still screaming for this Joseph to the point where she's starting to like run off into the sort of woods, like run off towards the sort of trees and stuff. And this guy's like, "Oh, will someone shut that bitch up before I shut her up for herself?" Please,
Can I go help her look for Joseph?
I was about to say the same thing. So, yeah.
After you, good sir.
Yeah. So obviously, Griffin and Felix, while you guys are sort of talking to this guy, Mazzy and Oramis, what are you two doing? So,
I am definitely going to go and not shut her up. I'm going to hunt for Joseph.
Hunt for Joseph. So you go up to her and just, have you seen my boy? Have you seen Joseph?
Can you tell me what he would look like?
Oh, he's a small little lad, a red cloak over him. Very, very bright red cloak. He only got it yesterday. Please, could you help me find Joseph? I fear he may have gotten lost. He gets scared easily, you know, especially against those things. God knows where he's gone.
I will try and find. Is it your son? I question.
My boy, not my son. Adopted son, rather. Please. Yes.
Right.
If you'd like to try and find him, you can roll me a survival check.
Survival. I was going to investigation.
Or investigation, either or.
Mold earth to just make a small like hole under one of the legs of his chair so it tips over.
Yeah, is a small sort of hole opens up. Are you trying to do this like? What are the components of mold earth? Is it somatic? Is it?
Probably. It's just it is somatic only.
All right. So make a stealth check or sleight of hand to try and do that sort of hidden away. He very clearly sees you doing this as well as his friends. And he sort of stumbles back. And because his friends have sort of seen him doing something, they looked to his sort of thing. And before he falls fully back, one of his men throws his bags down, runs and catches him just before he hits the ground. Oh, what the? Fucking gnomes! Jesus Christ! Oh, big-nosed polypox, the rest of them. Oh, you... It looks to you, Griffin. You should really sort out your rabble here. Are you just going to stand there and let them do that?
Sorry, the rabble that just saved your caravan's life?
No, I wouldn't call them my caravan. If we're going by wealth, then yes, I guess one could say I am the leader of such a people, but that is no way to treat a person.
You think wealth
Seriously.
gives you authority over these people?
Well, I could certainly all buy them out very, very easily. I think I have pretty good wealth of you. And he points towards one of them. You! Show me your ass! 10 gold! Guy turns around and moons him. There we are!
Capitalism.
You seem to see some very strange stuff, Lord
Moonfellow. Remember that name going to Dragbond? Moonfellow, yes. Ah, I get the joke now, yes. You can pull your trousers up there, man. You look like an idiot with his ass to the wind. Mazzy, you are able to pick up very easy tracks towards this child that's gone missing. You can very sort of easily pick up. They were sort of near and around your location here, and during the rabble they must have gotten mixed into one of the other groups, and then as things were finishing up must have wandered into the fields, and it's just sort of up here behind this rock that you find a small person with a red, very, very fine red cloak sort of wrapped around them, just sort of what would you like to do?
Hello, little sir. I don't. What is your name? How are you?
Gobble?
Right. It's going to be a bit more difficult than I thought.
And as he sort of turns around, you can see underneath the cloak is a very long green nose,
Oh no.
beady little eyes of a little goblin. He's a very young goblin. Goblins are your favorite, one of your favorite enemies, so you can definitely tell that this is a particularly young goblin, one that hasn't properly learned. It seems to understand you, but it can't reply to you, and it's very, very scared. It's sort of just starts crying.
Okay,
As his natural instinct kicks in.
I don't prejudice against anybody. He is young. He still needs to learn his ways in the world. I will take him back to his adopted, clearly, mother.
Yeah.
But for now, I'll just call him Little Red Riding Hood because I don't get a name. I'm going to offer him a bit of my rations.
Okay.
And sort of guide him back to.
Make me a persuasion check. Offering up your rations, I'll say make it with advantage, as he's a skinny little wretch.
Oh.
Hey, nice. So yeah, you take out a little bit of your rations, and you clearly sort of like just as you're pulling them out, you can hear his belly grumble, and just grabs it from your mouth.
I'm gonna
grabs just sort of like the sort of tail of your cloak. Looks up at you.
Was that evil? Nothing I speak, good goblin.
I think it's the hoodie then that makes you look more like a goblin. I don't want to ruin this cute little moment, but is this the part in the TV show where it would cut to the atrocities that Mazzy committed up north in the war?
Die!
Just a moment of like this small turn from Mazzy, and then it's sort of like half like faded out in the background is the scenes of Mazzy cutting through the little goblin with his dual sword.
He doesn't know what I've done to his kind. I won't be hurting this one.
Some might call that character growth.
There you go.
Excellent.
Others would call it witnesses.
So you take this little child back to his mother. She is very, very thankful. Like, oh my God, Joseph! Oh my God! She pulls the sort of cloak over his head a little bit, just sort of a little bit more, so others don't really see that he's a goblin. It's like, your discretion would be thanked. Well received. People aren't really. I mean, after everything, people aren't really a fan of Joseph. Yes. So, thank you. And she goes and gives you a very, very big hug. She is probably just like a little bit older than you. Sort of quite bright blonde hair. Very, very long. Oramis, what are you doing throughout all this?
I'm just kicking about.
You're just kicking about, yeah. Some of the folk are sort of like gathering up some of the bodies and moving to the side of the road. The gnolls sort of all moving them towards the sort of middle here. A lot of people are just sort of sat like trying to wrap their heads around sort of everything that's happened. Despite Lord Moonfellow's commands, one of the carts is filled with all the dead people, covered with sort of quite a big tarp over the top. Moonfellow's just out there. Oh, thank fuck, she shut up. Jesus Christ.
What a lovely man.
I was a bit angry at JJ for earth moulding underneath his chair, but I now think it was completely justified.
So, tell me, gentlemen, why is it you're going up to the lovely city of Drygont? Hey?
Got a ship up there.
Ah, you have a ship.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Is it in Drygont now?
I believe so.
You actually told your ship to go to the Shattered Coast.
Oh, it's not. It's not there. It's the Shattered Coast around that kind of way.
Shattered Coast. Well, that's a place
It is. It is.
And would they not have docked somewhere like Dragman, or is Shattered Coast actually somewhere they could dock and just go like getting in or whatever?
Yeah, Shattered Coast is essentially a town. So I was going to get into this.
Town.
Yeah, imagine sort of like Tortuga slash.
Cannot
what's
wait
the other
to
place
go
I was going to
there.
mention? Imagine sort of like Tortuga slash Mos Eisley sort of place, like a place that is very well known for being not a very nice place. I'll get into more of it when we actually get there.
We're going to get.
I'm just gonna say to this guy, like, I'm something of a trader myself.
Oh, really? Well, good sir. Now that is interesting. And you say you have a ship. This could be fortuitous for all. I would imagine, yes. And you're heading up. So we're going to Dragbont, and then the Shattered Coast. I would assume somewhat quickly if you have a ship up there.
Yes, we're rapido.
Interesting. So if I was to ask you to say move something for me, carry something for me to the Shattered Coast, for obviously payment, of course. You wouldn't mind doing such a thing, would you?
Mayhaps. Depends what the cargo is.
Ah, well.
Should
There,
go
my
somewhere?
fine fellow, is an interesting proposition. Wine, it is. Those putrid fuckers up in Shattered Coast will drink whatever swill you throw at them. So, we've made some putrid swill. Sold it over to them for God's worth. More than it's worth. And obviously they think it's the stuff they drink in the capital. It's the stuff that went off last year in Dragbont. Simple business, I assure you, of course. Simple business. You wouldn't mind taking a few crates of that up for me, would you? Obviously, I would pay you some, and upon arrival, I'm sure you would get another sum.
We could do that for you.
Ah, excellent. Absolutely marvelous. Well, we'll discuss more on the road, my fine fellow, and when we arrive in Dragbont, I can give you such cargo. But you, sir, are looking to be a fine young man indeed. I swear I've seen your face before, and the bearded one, you've all got fucking beards. The other one, the one with the bow and
Goldilocks.
yes. Is that what he's called?
Yes,
Interesting name.
He's called his Goldilocks.
The three
what's
beards.
Interesting names.
I don't normally go around, telling people this, but there is a play about us. We are two halves of the Guardians, of the heroes.
Guardians, of course. I've heard your names, and I saw your. I believe I saw your statues over in Lone Hill. Fine work you did there. Heard people talking about you all the time. Yes. No. Fine old work. I should have known. See, bit of a defender myself, personally. Bit of a guardian myself. The people of Dragbont rely on me. They need me. You see. I find.
Can we hear this conversation, Felix?
Yeah. You guys can hear.
Can
this conversation.
snigger quite loudly?
Can I? Am I en route back? Can I hear it as well?
Yeah. I'll say you're sort
cast
of.
a message to Oramis and say, screw him out of every penny he's got.
Can I reply to this?
Yeah.
Or
But you do when you reply, you say that you have to speak it out loud.
Oh, okay.
So he'll do a reply.
Well, wait. So what's he just said?
So
He's
just claimed he's a guardian himself.
not a guardian, but a defender of the people himself.
Okay.
Not a guardian as we are, but he claims he's a guardian of Dragbond and stuff.
Okay. So when you say I can reply to,
Pardon, sorry?
Is it message you've got, Jojo?
Yeah,
the cantrip.
the cantrip.
I think Oramis's response will only go to you.
Yes, it will. but
Yeah.
he has to say his response out loud.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, so when you say I can respond, I just reply to you.
Well, yes, but I'm saying this like I'm a little ways away, saying this into your mind, so no one can hear what I'm saying. But if you choose to reply, you have to say reply out loud. I'll say I'm very persuasive. And then to reply to you, and then I'm assuming he's probably going to look quite puzzled, so I'll just say, maybe I can get you some more recognition for your hard work.
And yeah, that would be rather nice. You all get to what you're doing. I think I'm going to bathe in this beautiful sunlight we're having here for a moment, really take it all in. And you look up and see it's actually kind of cloudy. But whatever. And yes, we will speak more on the road and let this babble sort themselves out to tighten their undergarments and clean them or whatever the fuck these poor people do. Nature. So stood there looking. You can see the bald guys are clearly sort of making jokes behind his back, clearly sort of making jokes about him behind his back. They think he's a bit of a ponce too, but whatever. A lot of the people are sort of coming up to you guys saying thank you. Again, sort of thing. They're getting ready to sort of take a bit of a rest themselves. So if you guys want to, you can have the equivalent of a short rest. You can regain any hit die, any spells anyone regains from short rests.
Yes.
If you would like to.
Short rest.
Nothing really happens over this short rest, except a few more people begin to they walk around from the north, coming down, and they do notice, all of you, they ask what's happened, a bit of conversation is had, and they head back south, looking a little bit, looking a little bit thing.
Lovely hit dice.
Lovely.
That's better.
And after that short rest, unless there's...
recovery?
Yeah, and unless there's anything anyone would like to do, we can move on with the travel. So, pretty quickly, later that day, so that happened around midday, it gets to nearer the evening that you guys make it to Dragbont. The sun is probably just about setting. It's around 5:30, you'd probably guess, that you make it to Dragbont. This guy, Mr. Moonfellow, you learn his name is Oslo Moonfellow. He takes you to a tavern where he is very, very well known and holds a place, he literally lives in this tavern on this penthouse thing. Takes you upstairs. One of his men then commands you to take this. So you're taking this crate of wine, essentially, to a place called the Blazing Boar.
Okay.
It is a tavern in the Shattered Coast. He would like it delivered there, and only there, by this time tomorrow. He wants them to have paid for it and everything, and for it to be in stock tomorrow night. So make sure that you tell them that, tell them put this shit out on stock tomorrow night is essentially what he's telling you. So don't forget that bit.
How much will be transporting?
It's like a crate, so it's about 16 bottles.
Okay.
Well, we don't have the bag of holding anymore, do we?
No.
You do not. So you are going to have to carry shit. Which is where this could get interesting. He will pay you 150 gold now, and the guy, upon receiving the thing, will pay you 150 gold plus the delivery fee of 50 gold, so 200 gold. So you'll be 350 gold quids in. Good job.
Nice.
How much are the people paying for this wine?
Like he says, and like he chuckles before he leaves, an absolute fucking extortionate amount. This is more than they pay in the capital for what is essentially gone-off wine.
Hey, yeah. I can't see this getting us into any trouble.
As you're going into this tavern, and you can see the fellows around that he's saying hi to and things like that. Make me another history check. Just a straight history check.
Anyone?
Griffin.
Yeah, story. It's not my strong suit.
You're not really paying attention to a lot of the sort of people around, and at a brief glance, they don't really take much notice of you either. You don't really take much notice of them. They're generic, big buff guy, generic rich dude. As far as you can sort of briefly see, as you're traveling in. Are you guys staying in Dragbont for the night, or are you heading straight to the Shattered Coast?
What time is it?
It's about sort of 6 o'clock by now. So you think you could make it to the Shattered Coast? It'd be around midnight, but you could probably make it to the Shattered Coast if you were to walk. It is getting dark outside.
What do we think?
I mean, I'd argue for going now, but I'm
up for going
being
now.
hasty. So
You're going to want to get something to carry that wine.
If it's in a crate, I've got rope. I can just fasten it into a backpack.
Fuck me, that's going to be heavy. 16 bottles of wine?
Easy, mate.
That's 12 kilos. Plus the weight of the glass.
Yeah.
If you want, he will offer
If he
you
wants to
another
do it.
crate to do like 8 and 8, which might be a bit lighter
Hang on a
for
second.
carrying.
Let me just... Weight of on wine. 1.2 kilos.
For a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
So 1.2 times 16. That's about 20.
About 20
Yeah,
kilos.
20.
to
That's
be carrying.
easy. I can carry 20 kilos.
As well as all the stuff you're currently carrying.
how
But
long is the journey to the Shattered Coast?
so
6
from
hours
here,
by the
it
sound of
is
things.
basically a straight road.
Yeah.
That road does go sort of, so you go up and around this little indent here into the land. So it goes sort of up around it and then straight over to the Shattered Coast. So yeah, about sort of somewhere between 4 and 6 hours, depending on the speed at which you guys are going. Obviously, carrying this sort of crate of wine is going to slow one of you down a little bit.
I got twice as much speed as the rest of them. So.
Good point. So yeah, you heading there now? Heading there tomorrow?
Let's go now.
Anyone want to
I'll
buy
see if
anything in Dragbont?
No.
Cool.
He just got a fly on his computer screen.
What are you looking at?
I will say to Oramis, if you cut me in on the fee, I will give you a hand carrying the wine. Or I will carry the wine.
Okay, little man. 70-30.
50-50.
60-40.
50-50, I'm doing all the work. It's more than fair.
I mean, he said 70-30, he didn't say which way.
It doesn't work on me, though. Also, it's only an 18.
Deal. Fine.
Okay, I will take
50-50.
10 minutes and ritual cast Unseen Servant and make my invisible servant carry the wine. We cast
Fair
an hour,
enough.
so every hour I have to sit down and take 10 minutes to recast it, but...
I mean,
Alright.
can't we
So-
just
so-
hire like a horse or like a donkey from that? Or
You
something?
could. I mean, yeah, you
animal?
could hire. Yeah, you could definitely hire
We're
that.
just trying to let's magic our way around it.
Is JJ's servant carrying it? I could summon a steed to carry it. Same
Oh,
as hiring a horse.
what, do you want cutting in as well?
Well, I suppose if you're offering, actually, I was going to do it for free because I feel really bad about laying you out in one hit.
Deal.
But,
Technically, it was 2 hits.
Technically, did you have a chance to respond?
Oh my god. All right.
Yes, Magic Man, let's do it.
Alright.
Okay, wait. Which magic man? The small or the big one? Or the small one who can go big?
The medium size.
The medium-sized one. Excellent. So you cast Find Steed. What is this steed that you are summoning?
It's just a warhorse.
Chikara.
A warhorse. Nice. You can summon this beautiful, finely groomed steed. What color is your steed?
It's celestial, isn't it?
It is a celestial, yes.
Is it like a, I don't know, like a blue kind of thing, like that?
Yeah.
Like a Patronus almost.
What almost, sir?
Like a Patronus from Harry Potter. Is it that sort of like it looks like that?
No. I mean, it can look however you want. It'll have the in-game statistics of a horse or a warhorse.
It is. Well, in that case, it's a black warhorse.
It's a black warhorse. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, you summon this beautiful, finely groomed black warhorse, strong as anything. Takes the cart. You can tie this crate of wine to the cart, and you can get moving. And with that, can I ask everyone to make another survival check, or sort of survival checks for me, please?
I'm not good at these.
I'll live.
It's one better than earlier. I love getting lost in the wild.
Oramis and Griffin survival. Ooh, okay.
Oh,
so we've got two
sweet
very medium
Lord.
rolls and two very, very good rolls. So I'll say that balances out to sort of about average. So you can get there in about, you get there sort of about 10:30-ish in the evening. It's obviously very, very dark. You're sort of plodding along as it sort of gets dark. There are the occasional sort of torch or whatever sort of on the road, sort of lighting your way. But I think most of you, once again, except Mazzy, have dark vision.
Dang it.
But you can
dark vision.
I mean, he does have
so
produce
high.
flame now, so he can just make
I
a torch in
can
his
go.
hand. To
Fire it forwards if I
travel
can't see if I'm from.
travel along.
start a fire.
You guys are you guys are pretty high level now. You've got a sort of big horse near you. Griffin's pretty heavily armored, so it's, Mazzy's decently armored as well. You look like a group that could take on a lot of stuff. So maybe as you're sort of traveling along, obviously this being quite a rough area of Amber, you do notice a couple of people by the side of the road who are, sort of, you can see they have weapons on them, but they just sort of watch you go by. Like, these aren't guards at all. These are just random dudes, mercs, bandits, whatever, with weapons. But they are literally just stood there waiting for the right people to come by. And yeah, you just watch as they sort of stare you down as they're walking past. They have this sort of very, very big dog with them. They have to sort of, it's got like a chain for a leash, and they have to sort of pull it back as it starts barking at you in the night, which is a bit creepy, but hey, cute doggy. And you can make it to the Shattered Coast, which at this late at night.
Obviously bad, Ben.
Make me an insight check.
Don't do it.
Insight. 13. Alright.
13.
Could be worse.
I mean, they're not very obviously like evil dudes. They look like a sort of gang of mercenary wannabes. Like some of them are sort of like 18, 19 years old who think that who think they're hard kind of thing. But then there's others amongst them who definitely look like somewhat battle-hardened guys.
If they haven't got obviously evil intentions, if I don't get enough for it, I'll leave them alone.
No, I mean, obviously, like, a bunch of guys stood on the side of the road, swords drawn and stuff, isn't necessarily good, but it's also not necessarily bad. You don't know what they're going to do.
I don't think I get enough of it to like justify messing with them anyway. So
Exactly.
I assume that a lot more people are armed these days, given the tower and everything like that.
Exactly. So you can move along, and with that, gentlemen, we can make it to the Shattered Coast.
Yay.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh my god.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the Shattered Coast. As you sort of walking along, you sort of crest just over this, sort of over this hill, and you can see this torch-lit nirvana of fucked up shit ahead of you. quick description of the Shattered Coast before we finish up today. So the Shattered Coast is a bit of a geological marvel, because it is literally where there once was a cliff, some of it fell away to create these columns sort of thing, but some of it didn't. And the stuff that didn't is obviously still stood and holds people. And as you can see, it sort of holds people like a very sort of, almost like sort of towers in and of themselves, where people are sort of living inside these columns and on top and in any sort of nook and cranny they can. This isn't all of the Shattered Coast, by the way. This is just the inhabited part. There are many other smaller islands sort of all along the bottom here to create this very sort of large area of Shattered Coast. The Shattered Coast has a bit of a history, and what you guys would essentially know is it's not run by the kingdom, it's not run by the king. The king has very little presence here because it's not officially a city. It's not run by a lord or anything like that. Oramis, you'd know probably a lot of this. I think we said you'd been there once or twice before. Yeah. The big thing here is that they're trying not to become a city, because as soon as they become an official city, they have to have a barracks, they have to have a lord come in and own the lands and everything like that, and a barracks of official soldiers come in, whereas right now there's just like a small rabble of Ambyr guard here, and a courthouse that's mainly being used as a brothel, but that's about it. And that is a big thing here, is like they hate like official nobles and stuff, because anytime an official noble comes by, it's to say, oh yeah, we're evicting all you people because a lord's here to take it over, and the people here are like, no, it's technically private land, so fuck off. And it is owned by a guy who is only known as the Admiral. You know him to be a captain of a ship, but no one is rarely ever seen in and around these parts. Because it's not an official city and there is very little control here, this place is it's chaotic. Just walking there, you see two people getting married, two people getting divorced, a man marrying a goat, and a man, shall we say, becoming very friendly with a goat out in public. As you're walking in towards the city, you see a cockfighting ring, but it's not actually cockfighting, it's a little goblin versus a doll that a fairly low-level wizard is animating to fight said goblin. You can see a bunch of guys. You see a bunch of guys very clearly doing some bad shit, sort of as you walk in nearer to this place down an alley, clearly doing some kind of deal or something. There are drunks, there are antisocial youths about the street everywhere. Every third shop in this place sells some kind of alcohol, whether it's a tavern or an apothecary or a blacksmith. Like, holy fucking crap. This place is utter fucking chaos, and they are all loving it. It's predominantly run by sailors. Merchant stuff and smuggling is a very, very big part of what makes this place whole. And there is a guard per se, but it is not run by the official Ambyr people, it is run by the Admiral. There are rules here, and it's essentially, don't be a dick, but that's negotiable. So, like, don't kill that guy, but if he's a bit of a dick, then yeah, sure, go for it. Don't steal that thing, but, I mean, if you really want it, then fine.
Don't get caught stealing that thing.
Exactly. This place is unlike anywhere you guys have been before, and I look forward to starting the next session there as you guys head over there. One thing I will say is obviously so if you can see, there's a lot of bridges that sort of head between each of these columns and stuff.
Yeah.
There is no order or sense to any of these. A lot of them are rope bridges, a lot of them are stone bridges, and it'll be like, if you want to say, get from this place here to this place here, we can't just go across that bridge. No, you have to go sort of up over here, and then down to the second floor of that place and across to there, and then there's no stairs up, so you've got to go over here, and then over here, and then up to here, and then across to there. Chaos. And as you guys are eventually making your way towards the ships...
Like a perfect
yeah.
thing, it's all like pods on different...
Literally, yeah.
Oh, it's like in The Last of Us 2, when you have to like go through all those different levels of the skyscrapers to get
Yeah, basically,
Across
yeah.
a small fraction of the city, you've got to go up and across and down and across and up again.
And as it takes you guys a fair bit of time to sort of get through the city, but in the middle of the city, coming out of the Blazing Boar, the tavern itself that you just happen to sort of find, walks out. What's his name? Fred?
Frank.
Frank.
Or Mason.
Both Frank and Mason, funnily enough, who stumble out singing sort of different, singing hymns to each other on each other's shoulders, who walk over.
Hymns.
Oh, whatever. Oh, Captain, how nice to see you. About the ship. And we'll leave it there for today.
Oh
Thank you very much for joining me.
About the
No
ship.
ship left, dude.
Ben.
And we'll see you guys next week. However, Luke, can I really quickly, this is the final thing, just get you to make me a series of rolls. So first of all, on behalf of your crew, so you should have a thing which is for your crew.
Yes.
Where is your crew's, where's the ship's crew? Right. So that is a quick little thing. Can you make me 3 dexterity checks? This will be how your crew handled the ship while on board.
Ben, what was the name of the inn, by the way?
The Blazing Boar.
Blazing Ball, that was it.
5.
That's it. 3. Make 3 of them. It was a long journey after all. I won't make you just make 1.
That'll be good.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, you're
thank
good.
goodness. Thank goodness.
10 minutes after you left them, Luke, they hit a rock.
But then the rest of the journey was fine.
Yeah,
Make me-
Mason has no lower half because they used him to plug the hole and he got eaten.
Make me a strength check, 3 strength checks on behalf of the group to see how well they handled themselves in tough situations.
Oh, strong boys. So,
Weaker boys.
oh.
They got tired. The second half.
So that's 18,
Adam in the first
12,
half, not gonna lie.
and 9. And finally, Oramis, can you make me a charisma check? 3 charisma checks for the crew to see how they handled themselves and how they represented the Dragon's Revenge in front of people at the several ports that they stopped
I
at.
swear, these boys.
Oh, this will be rubbish. This will be rubbish. Rob. I'm watching it.
Once.
7. Yep. Go on. We want worse than that. Let's keep going.
No!
We can't go to the capital again.
Oh,
that's funny.
slight redemption.
Slight redemption. Alright, and with that in mind, thank you very much for joining me this week. I hope you guys liked a bit more of a travelling session with a light
good.
bit of hack and slash combat against some weak little shits.
I would say, Ben, I think the next 5 sessions you've just got the grace of not being in the Underdark, so anything's going to be good.
I'll tell you what, it has been a weight off my goddamn chest not being in the Underdark. My lordy.
Who was it? It was a dark. Oh,
It was dark. Like, I enjoyed it, but I will say that it obviously like everything was so tense down there, and I felt like, you know, everything just had to be really creepy and dingy and dark. And I don't know if you can tell quite just yet with the man making love to a goat, but I'm going for a very different feel with this section.
To be fair, a goat does feel very different. That's how I've heard.
If it's anything like a sheep, it's... Oh.
Gonna cut your